So clearly what we can see, taste, touch, feel, think, all this has because it's an experience, because it exists, I mean, it pulls attention. It's magnetic in that sense. And, a lot of the spiritual disciplines, none more so than meditation probably, is what we're asking our conscious to do is just don't follow everything around. Just let a thought be a thought, and a feeling be a feeling, and a sense be a sense, and just let it all be just the way it is. And maybe consciousness stops being pulled to the left and the right and the up and the down, just being pulled around by, say, the world of experience. Of course, I think most of us want to have the world of experience. It's kind of nice to be experiencing something. Even if you're experiencing nothing, you're still experiencing something. Anyway. So what I'm pointing at here, strictly speaking, or what was pointed to in the question about the divine light, or Bonnke talking about the unborn, or I'm calling the timeless, it's a dimension of being that is generally just overlooked because there's not much to it. Right? There's not much to grab hold of onto it. And so we don't even know we're dismissing it, but basically we dismiss it endlessly. Ironically, when we get into spirituality and we heard, whatever we might imagine God is, or enlightenment, or awakening, or these kind of ideas, generally the first assumption we make is, well, none of that's in my direct experience, and so you don't really bother looking. You just go trying to have a different experience, whether it's the enlightenment experience, the God experience, the awakening experience, and waiting and hoping that something like that happens. Meanwhile, what all those big spiritual sounding words are actually ways of bringing attention to something that's immediately, not only immediate, but always present. Because if it's not always present, if it's not present now, even if something shows up, you already know that it can be given and taken away. As Ramana said, let what comes come, let what goes go. Just let it come and go. That's not too much to ask. You wouldn't think. Find out what remains. And what remains ends up to be this, it's this very quiet thing, isn't it? It's the part of you that's not clamoring for any attention. It's the there that's always there. And you notice that the you that's not clamoring for attention has a lot to do with that sort of rudimentary intuition of always being, something that's always been, is always being. You see, because in spirituality, we must remember we're exploring your subjective experience of being. Of course, there is no experience of being that's not subjective, right? It's always your experience of being, whoever you are. An exploration, or an inquiry, which is another way of exploration, of our immediate, that's the key, experience of being. That's the exploration. That's what it means to look inside. Right? It doesn't mean look inside and sit around hoping that something great happens. Because then we're not actually exploring our immediate experience of being. We're waiting for something extraordinary to happen.